Alrighty. Hello everybody, welcome back. Let me just make sure that I share this and then we can get on with the show. Hey, on with the show. Alrighty. So, hello everybody. Welcome back. For the last couple of hangouts with ignorant people from this planet has really left me intellectually unstimulated. So what I want to do is bring you a voice of reason, somebody that knows how to think and that has an opinion that more often than not coincides with mine. What I'm going to present for you is the latest video from Lionel, and he's going to be talking about the speech that President Trump gave to Congress, or the joint House, or whatever they call it, last night. Some have said that it was the best presidential speech ever made, even better than anything given by Reagan. But let's see what our friend Lionel has to say, and then we can judge accordingly.
Last night, in case you missed it, Donald John Trump, the 45th president of these United States, of our grand and glorious republic, absolutely nailed it, knocked it out of the park with what can only be described as an epic performance before the joint Congress. Not the State of the Union, but the message, the address, the meeting, the first before the joint Congress, where no one in that entire room, save for his family and maybe his invited guest, in any way liked him, preferred him, cared for him, hoped he did okay. Without a doubt, it was enemy territory, because he is not a Republican and he sure as hell ain't a Democrat. In fact, the Democrats aren't the Democrats. Let us go through last night, because I know you want to hear what I think about this, because that's what I do. What's our take? How do people like us view this? Now, first, yes, 3 things which must be addressed right off the bat. And this is very, very important. Number 1, he was presidential. Now, this is a term that people throw around, especially from the cartoon, alt-left, fake news media, cartoon anti-Trump contingent, who really don't know anything about really much of anything, and they don't know what to say. They just say, was he presidential? Did he act presidential? Was he presidential? That's all they have. And like little minor birds, like little lemmings, like little people, like little Pavlovian, obescent little chipmunks or lab rats who learn the maze and learn the routine and learn the reward sequencing with a red light and the pellet. They say, was he presidential? Now, if you don't think he was presidential, that's up to you. I'm not going to convince you. If you think he was presidential, yeah, I would like to rephrase that into, was he prototypically Hollywood, media-worthy, politically stagecraft appropriate presidential? Because the idea of being presidential, what does that mean? Like the principal, like the father, like Obama was presidential and very smooth and did nothing. He was a double agent. My God. Was Jimmy Carter presidential? Maybe you didn't like him. Ronald Reagan was presidential because he acted like the president that we imagine in Hollywood. You know what I mean? You know when you go to a doctor, I used to always say this about Dick Cheney. If you went to Dick Cheney and you had a disease, if Dick Cheney were your doctor, you'd feel confident. You'd walk in like, wow, he looks old, he looks gravitas. Remember that word? Gravitas. He looks like somebody like, wow, I think the guy knows what he's talking about. I think that old Dick Cheney knows what he's doing. I think that Dick Cheney, I think that Dick, I like Dick. Gotta be careful how you say that. But then when it comes to, if you don't like him, well, he's not presidential. There's nothing I can say. So the first issue is, was he presidential? That's up to you. It's a Rorschach test. It's like looking up at the clouds and seeing does that look like a little porcupine to you? Or does it look like a typewriter? I don't know. It's up to you. You tell me. That's the first thing. Number 2. Does he have the ability to move back the attack? See, every now and then when Trump, the president, was running when he was running, and to an extent now, when somebody said something, he fought back. Lately, if you notice, he's been saying, well, I mean, the Twitter biting is certainly there. But if you recall, one of the things which was the most brilliant that he did was during the Oscars, he didn't respond. He didn't do anything. He just kind of had their own party. He just ignored them. Drove them crazy. By the way, they only had one job to do. And that was it. And you know what happened there, okay? Okay, fine. So what he did was he basically ignored his detractors. And I guess perhaps subsumed under the collective rubric of whether he was indeed presidential, he acted more like the mature adult. He just proceeded forward in a magnificent speech, which I will get to. And number 3, if the Democratic Party continues under this "we don't like Trump" business, or Trump's no good, or Trump is not a good president, or Trump is a racist or a fascist or whatever, or a misanthrope or a misogynist or a xenophobe or an Islamophobe or whatever your particular iteration of that is. If that was your take after last night, you are royally, and you know the verb. You know that grand F-bomb sortie. You know it. If that's what you had, because last night it was magnificent. Why do I say that? I'm talking about the performance. Let me explain to you this. First, to the Rachel Maddow group, by the way, what happened to old Rach? What happened to her? She lost her mind last night. We'll get to that in a moment. But to the Rachel Maddow, Jake Tapper, Don Lemon, AC, Anderson Cooper, Wolf Blitzer, Carol Costello, Chris Cuomo, you know the usual suspects. Trump could have brought a dead puppy back to life, provided for the cure for cancer, done anything, and nothing would have mattered. So that's in one particular camp. To the others, like I have friends of mine who just, I mean, they are so Trump crazy. They wear the hats, they wear the pen, MAGA, 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 MAGA. Oh, make America great again. Oh, okay. Take it easy. Drain the swamp. Okay, fine. Thank you. They're just nuts. Okay, that's in the other group. Doesn't matter what he did. He could kill a puppy. He could destroy the cure for cancer. He can do whatever he wants. It doesn't matter to them. But in the middle, there are average, rational Americans. Oh, by the way, rich, poor, black, white, a lot of people. Don't ever write off black people because Trump is a non-black candidate. Don't ever fall for that trope, that idiocy, that lunacy. Don't ever do that, ever. Don't ever think that somehow that you know what black people think, or Mexicans, or women, or Latinos, or Latinas, or whatever. Don't ever do that. But to the rest of the country, they saw somebody who was thoroughly magnificent. And let's talk about the stagecraft, okay? Which is the most important. Okay. There's something that happens magically when somebody is performing. And it is something that is one of the weirdest things to explain. And from somebody, my wife knows more about this than I do, but I've seen a lot of live theater, musicals. Don't care for musicals, but I've seen a lot of those as well. But in terms of Broadway theater, sometimes somebody will walk out in a group and one person just commands the light, the attention, the eyes. Don't know why. I don't know why. It can be a play you've seen. It could be, dare I say, a Hamlet or something, Death of a Salesman. It can be whatever it is. Something is magical. They connect on levels you don't know. You know how sometimes a dog will like you, or babies will like you, or a kid will like, or you, or somebody else. They just say, what are they picking up on? What are they picking up on? We don't know. He had it last night. Let's spend some time on this. He had it because there was also something. There was a pre-hypnotic suggestion. The entire country was waiting for this. Well, I shouldn't say the entire country, because there are people still watching reruns of, Name That Tune. But most people were watching this. Bars, TV, everybody. Colbert has revived his ossified, otiose, necrotic career. And he's gone all Trump all the time, and I hope that fatigue doesn't kick in. I mean, everybody went long. Everybody went afterwards, extra hours. Trump has made more people more money. Everybody was doing this. Everybody. I was on RT late. Everybody was on. People were talking about it. It was Trump has, say what you want, by virtue of his presence, whether you like him, you hate him, you don't like, whatever it is, he has done something to capture the imagination and the attention of this great republic like nobody's business. And in many respects, he is absolutely better than Reagan. Reagan was just, that kind of thing. Reagan was the Gipper. Reagan was the grandpa. Trump, you got to realize, is 70 years old, but he's got the verve of I was going to say the mentality, maybe that too, but the vitality, the verve, the excitement of a much younger man. And he knows show business. He knows the work. He knows the work. I was recently going through some work of a fellow who is an absolute professional wrestling historian of note, Bill Apter, and watching a lot of his.
Why did that stop?